Hey guys, welcome to another video by CodeRex, and in this video we'll be doing the question written above. The question says that write a program that takes input a 2D integer array. I should write integer here, 2D integer array, and print single digit numbers. So this question was given to me in a school practical. It's pretty easy. So you guys might be thinking why the code is already written. Is because nobody watches 10 minutes video on a code this easy, right? So I'll explain where it needs to be explained. Now, first we need to figure out the logic. How do we proceed about a question like this, right? Let me pull out my logic board. First, it's a question about 2D array. Pretty simple. You need to imagine a grid in your mind, right? So let's take a grid that is something like this. Which has 5 rows and 4 columns rather. Now the question says that you need to input a 2D integer array, take input from the user, and print out the numbers, single digit numbers. So for that you need to create a nested for loop, right? A for loop within a for loop. You need 2 variables. Of course we are not using dynamic memory allocation here, so we need to define array beforehand. In dynamic memory allocation, you can define the array size during the runtime because it uses heap memory. Okay, I'm digressing here. So you need 2 variables, row and column, that restricts the number of rows and restricts the number of columns. You put a for loop. The first for loop is to take input in the first row, right? First row and first column. This condition right here, it will take the input in first row. Int I equals 0 means the 0th row. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you should know that array starts from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, right? 4 columns. So 0th row, which is this row right there, and while I is less than row, of course 0 is less than 5 rather, and I plus plus. Okay, that's the latter part. Then we are taking it for the columns. Int j equals 0, and it should be j less than column. Minute errors here and there. I should debug my code. So j less than 0, j is equals to 0 means we have selected this first row and this first column. Then then what we do is take input in this first row, first column, then we move to the second column, that is this one, until and unless j is less than column. We know that there are 4 columns, so until j is till the time j is 3, we will take input in this entire row, then we'll move to this. So it's pretty simple. You know how to take input. Now we need to put a similar for loop. Don't ask why I changed the variables, even though the scope of these variables end here. So we need a similar for loop to transverse the 2D array using the same bloody logic, right? Let me clear this. Using the same logic, suppose this is our grid. Don't mind that it's different from before. It has some numbers, x, x, x. Okay, it has some numbers here. Now what this does is, again, it selects the first row, first column. It checks if the number, if x is greater than 9. You know the number is double digit if it's greater than 9, right? 10 is a double digit number. That's the condition we're using here. So if it's greater than 9, you print that number, you print that element of the 2D array, right? If it's not 9, you just move to the next element, and similarly like that. So this is the only logic that is used in this question. It's pretty easy. You just need to put two nested for loops and you're done. Now let's try running the code. Let's create a 3x3 grid. So this code has an error. I don't know how many of you noticed that, but you'll see in a moment. Now this code was to print 2-digit numbers, but what do we see here? That it's also printing 3-digit numbers. The code is working fine, but this is a logical error that you may call it. So on this line right here, line number 24, you need to add another statement that says and it should be true. Keep this element right here. Okay, so I hope you get it now. 99 is the largest, you may call it the largest 2-digit number. After that, it's just all 3-digit. So in the previous version of the code, we did not put this statement. So what it's going to do, it's going to print 2-digit as well as 3-digit numbers. Now let's run the code. Let's run the code once more. Okay, I should close this first. Now let's take a 2x2 grid because we need to keep it simple. You can take as long grid as you want, but the number of inputs increase, so that's why I'm just taking a small grid. 1 and 11, 101, and let's take 9. So the only 2-digit number in this entire grid is 11, so it prints 11. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you understood the logic. If I know that I need to improve a lot on how I teach or explain the code to others, but this is a easy code, pretty easy one, no big deal. So see you in another video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, hit the like button. Of course, it's still very early to ask for likes when I have no subscribers. Please help. Anyway, see you in the next video, guys.